Tonight, we're going to talk about a single event that completely reshaped public safety for an entire nation. This is the story of the Ozone Disco fire, a tragedy that exposed just how deadly negligence can be, and how, from those very ashes, a whole new era of safety was forged in the Philippines.
Let's start with these words from a survivor, Sherilyn Burgon. Her account just captures that pure, raw terror inside the club. You see, this wasn't just a fire. It was this overwhelming force, a tidal wave of heat, that in an instant turned a party into a desperate, desperate fight for survival.
So, picture this. It's March 18, 1996. For hundreds of high school and college students in Quezon City, this was supposed to be a night of total celebration. You know, school's out, and the Ozone Disco, it was the place to be, and it was packed. What started as a huge party would end as the single deadliest fire in the nation's history.
And here's the part that is just so heartbreaking, the timing. March, by presidential proclamation, was actually Fire Prevention Month in the Philippines. It was a national campaign to raise awareness about fire safety. The fact that the country's worst fire happened during that very month, well, it's a tragic irony that no one has ever forgotten.
So the big question is, right? How did a popular nightclub, a place for fun, become a literal death trap? Well, the answer lies in a whole cascade of catastrophic failures. Let's just start with the basics, the building code. According to its official permit, the Ozone Disco was only designed to safely hold 35 people. 35, okay? Just keep that number in your head for a second.
Because on that tragic night, there weren't 35 people inside. Nope. There were an estimated 350 guests and about 40 staff members. We are talking 10 times the legal capacity. That level of overcrowding made any kind of orderly escape pretty much impossible from the get-go.
And this is where it gets just infuriating. This wasn't one single mistake. It was a perfect storm of negligence. Yeah, sparks from the DJ booth might have started it, but the real killers were the building's flaws. The main door swung inward, which is a fatal design when people are panicked and pushing to get out. The emergency exit, completely blocked. No sprinklers. And then, in a final horrifying twist, the security guards, thinking a riot was breaking out, actually locked the main door from the outside.
And right in that critical moment, the technology failed. The club's DJ, Marvin Reyes, he saw the flames, he tried to warn everyone, but his microphone was already dead. The one and only chance for some kind of organized warning was just gone in an instant.
The final result of all these failures is just staggering. 162 people died, and at least 95 others were injured. Rescue teams later found bodies piled up waist-high in that narrow corridor, right in front of the door they could never open.
You know, the tragedy didn't end when the fire was put out. Not even close. For the survivors and the victims' families, the next chapter was a grueling, decades-long battle for justice. Just look at this timeline. It really shows you just how incredibly slow the wheels of justice can turn. The fire happened in '96, and while the owners were convicted a few years later, it took until November 2014, a full 18 years later, for a final conviction against both the club owners and the city officials who gave them the permits in the first place.
And this verdict was huge. The court's final decision set a really powerful precedent. See, it wasn't just the club owners who were held responsible. 7 city officials were found guilty of corruption because of their negligence for basically signing off on a building they should have known was a fire trap.
But here's the thing. Out of this immense loss, something profound and lasting actually did change. The ozone fire became the catalyst, the reason for a complete and total overhaul of fire safety regulations across the Philippines. The single most important legacy is this right here, Republic Act 9514, the new fire code of the Philippines. It was passed in 2008, and this law was written with the lessons of ozone burned into every single page, replacing a code that was over 30 years old.
What's so powerful about this new code is that it's like a point-by-point answer to every single failure from that night. It made sprinkler systems mandatory, it required all exit doors to swing outward in the direction of escape, it introduced panic bars so doors can always be opened from the inside, it also brought in strict enforcement of occupancy limits and, yep, made blocking a fire exit a criminal offense.
I mean, just look at the difference here. This table really shows you the night and day shift in the country's entire safety culture. Before ozone, inward swinging doors, blocked exits, ignored capacity limits, that was all too common. After the tragedy, the law demanded the exact opposite. Safety inspections, which were once easily bypassed, became a non-negotiable requirement for any business to operate.
So think about this for a second. The next time you see one of those panic bars on an exit door in a public building in the Philippines, you are literally looking at a life-saving legacy of the ozone tragedy. It's such a simple piece of hardware, right? But it was born from an unimaginable disaster, and now it's designed to save lives every single day.
And that really leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? The story of ozone is this powerful reminder that so many of the safety features we just take for granted, from exit signs to sprinklers to even which way a door opens, they often have a hidden history, one that was written in the lessons learned from tragedy.